Good evening to one and all, and welcome to Meet the Engineer live session. I'm Zainab Kadri, your host and PR and media executive at 9SEM. As you all must be knowing, 9SEM is India's first and only skill based digital learning platform providing skill based education to the engineering students in the core and non IT industries. So it gives me great pleasure to come every time and be the host and get to interact with you all. Also meet the people who come to our live sessions. They are a great source of motivation, and also I do tend to learn a lot of things from them, and I'm sure you do it too. So comment below and let us know. Also, the amount of love we are receiving from you all is highly appreciable. Thank you so much, and keep supporting so that we keep coming up with new things and keep exploring stuff for you all, and especially all the engineering students out there. So today is a very special day, I should say, for me, and I am feeling proud of hosting this. And because we are going to have members of a team which has won a prize all over Asia, and that is a very big a deal. So without any further ado, we'll begin with this. Before that, as you all know, Meet the Engineer session is hosted so that you come across all these people, who have come up with innovations and who teach us and who basically motivate us to do more than what we are already doing. So yeah, so let us begin. So before beginning with the session, we would like to show a small clip where you will get to know more about their innovation and about this team, which is known as Team Empower. So yeah, I'll just show the video to you all and then we will begin. Okay, so that was with the video, and I'm sure it is building up curiosity in all your minds, and you are as much as eager as I am to welcome them and to know more about this innovation and to know more about Team Empower and their innovation. So there is a saying known as the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. So I think these people have worked in very hard, put in efforts day and night, and that's the reason they stand out as winners. So let me introduce you to them. So today with us we have two members from Team Empower. One is Mohammed Salman and Sayed Ali. Team Empower has won four
Hello,
ranks.
Zainab.
Hi, hi. Hi, Sayed Ali and Mohammed Salman, and it's great pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
I was just saying that you all have won fourth rank in Asia's biggest solar event known as Electric Solar Vehicle Championship 2020. So
Yeah,
we welcome you to our live session, and we want to know more about this innovation of your solar car, and we want our audience out there to acknowledge the fact that you have made us and our country proud.
thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So, should I start the presentation?
Yeah, we can go with the presentation.
Okay. Where is
Okay. First of all, we would like to express our gratitude from our part, that is from the team Empower part, to be a part of this Meet the Engineer session. Once Zainab has told us our invite to the team, Nansam, when they have invited us for this Meet the Engineer session, we went through the profile that they have maintained in their Facebook, LinkedIn, everything, and we were actually so convinced and so happy that we got a call or we got an invite from their part. That was so a proud moment for us. It was actually a good appreciation for our work that we have had an invite from them. Now, depending on the presentation, actually, we have started this one. I mean, the team member. Can you please move on with the next slide?
Yeah, sure. Also, thank
Okay.
you for so much appreciation.
Regarding fine, Zainab. So regarding Empower, actually Empower is a community of automobile aspirants formed by students of TKM College of Engineering 2018. So in 2018, since 2 years from now, back 2 years, we were actually involved in designing automobiles manufacturing. But actually, that for national events, I must say for national events, there is a strong Baja team in our college. There is e-kart racing team, and there are many automobile in the team there, and there are electric vehicles too. But there was one which one was lacking was that solar vehicle. There was no solar vehicle team in the college, and that led to the formation of team Empower. So in back 2018, we formulated a group, we formulated a community. In those community, we have added Baha members, we have added e-card members. Most of them were there in the team Empower. And in every year, we designed a car for the college purpose as a part of final year project or maybe a design project something. We used to design a car every year. We will be designing a car and we will be passing on the knowledge and the technical know-how that we have got to our juniors. And similarly, and by that way only, we are also still here. We are also invited by our seniors. And the primary aim of the team Empower was to actually technically and practically know-how to improve the technical and practical know-how of the automobile manufacturing by taking part in national events as such. Like by taking part in national events, we could compete, we could get a strong platform to compete with other teams who have done a similar work as like ours, and we will get a strong exposure also. Also, we in the previous year, the vehicle that I said we used to develop a vehicle in every year. Previous year, we developed a vehicle, a three-wheeler for differently abled ones that was even solar powered, and we have even applied for a patent. And I have mentioned the application number in the PPT. We have applied for a patent, and we strongly believe that we will be getting a patent for the same. And also, the main reason that we are here, we have got an invite from the NINSEM that we have also managed to get All India rank fourth one for the car that we have designed this year. The previous year, and we have got a All India rank fourth rank, and that is why we are actually here, and we are so proud to speak about the car that led us to this position. Next slide, I think. Can we have the next? Okay. So, need for solar vehicle. When we are dealing with a presentation that is talking about solar vehicles and electric vehicles, there must be a slide mentioning about something about solar power. So we all know that recently there are vehicles, top leading brand high-end vehicles are launching their BS6, BS4 models into the market, and the government of India has also put in stringent efforts to BS6 bar stage emission levels. Also, we know that pollution is a matter of concern nowadays, and the electric vehicle is actually a boon for this particular purpose of meeting the emission level. And adding to that, solar-powered electric vehicles will be a great advancement in the field of automobiles, because solar energy, as we all know, it is actually a more predominant and highly energy that can be used freely, right? It's available everywhere. So adding solar power to the vehicles will be of great use, and it will be of great importance. And also the maintenance, thinking about a solar vehicle, everyone will be imagining about the high price, high maintenance, but it's not like that. The maintenance is very low. Comparing with the low maintenance and the heavy initial investment, it is justifiable. It is actually, a person can usually afford a solar vehicle, for sure. I think we can move on to the next slide.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so in this presentation, we have included some basic details about the car. We haven't gone into the technical details here, but at least we will be going through the basics here. Phoenix 2.0, that is the name of a car which we have given, and of our team. We are the team member and have developed the car Phoenix. And Phoenix 2.0, when it comes to this car, it's just Phoenix 1.0, where we have just developed and for as a tricycle, and it was for the disabled. And here now I will just explain some of the basic details, because like the weight of the car, the balance, and the dimensions of the car is given here. Now it was a 2.5 by 1.5 meter car, and the weight of the car was around 150 kilograms, and the ratio gives the balance of how the front and the rear axle weights. And also there are other details like or stopping distances, gradability, minimum acceleration, maximum acceleration, and maximum speed, which is only 45. That is pretty decent for a small car, which we have developed with the basics or the constraints that was given by the ESPC, because we developed the car for participating in this All India competition ESPC. And within the constraints that were given, we have developed the car with maximum potentials. So next slide. And now these are the details of the engine or the motor that we have chosen. That is 2.25 kilowatts motor we have chosen. And that was the maximum we could choose according to their constraints. So we chose the best. And it was very difficult to find the battery that could power such a motor. And we needed the battery to be long lasting, since we have to use it at least for 1.5 hours continuously through the endurance and all. So we made our calculations. We have rechecked the calculation many times. We developed many Excel sheets and other complex equations to change the variables so as to come up with the best outcome. And we chose this battery with 72 Ah and 48 volts. And our motor was also very good at handling great torque and etc. So here are some basic details we have just shared with the presentation. Next slide. So when it came, it was the greater challenge was choosing the solar panels actually, because it is a solar car challenge, and we had to choose the solar panel, which you know, but so solar panel being only 50% efficient, we have to and the area of the solar panel is a very risky one, because we have to accommodate the solar panel within the car, and we have to generate high power up to 2.25 kilowatts so that motor would run. And also we have to charge the vehicle within 3 hours or 4 hours, or at least as long as the sun is available, we should be able to charge these batteries. And the car was not a very big car. It was a small 1.5 meter wide and 2.5 meter long car. So, and the driver compartment shouldn't be covered with the solar panel. And we made some arrangements with the bonnet and also the rear spaces, so we can accommodate maximum solar panel. And we chose the best solar panel, and we used MOC techniques to increase the output of the solar panel. And this is just a diagram showing how we set it up. We use 3 solar panels, 2 in the front and 1 in the back, to power our car. Next slide.
So, as you can see, this was the team leaders or the team lead of our team, and this is the captain, Joel, Mr. Joel. He was the captain of the team, and Jiten being the vice president. And these three were the mentors that has played a crucial part. And I must mention Mr. Dr. Sheikh Mohammed. He was he's our sir, and he is personally a good advisor of mine. And he was I must say that he was the heart of the team, pumping us through every section of the work. And he was the man behind everything. We used to prepare a schedule, and he was the one who was overseeing whether the schedule was going right. And he indeed referred many of them from the other college faculties, from NITs, from IITs. He has also referred many of them to us, so that we could get a more real picture of what we are really doing. His work and his effort that what he have provided was a great importance to our team, and and it played a crucial part in achieving this goal for us. It was, as you can see, we have got the first runner-up in business model and cost report analysis. Also, we got the second runner-up in autonomous round, and also in People's Choice Award. So we were so glad to have a People's Choice Award. Next slide. And this was the entire team dynamics. There was a captain, there was a vice captain, and we have divided the entire team or the group into steering, solar, brakes, electrical, innovations, transmission, safety, documentation, roll cage, autonomous, and suspension. So these were the team, and each team, even though it was divided into team, it was not like that we worked as a team in the particular section itself. We used it to work interdisciplinary, but the suggestions was strongly considered from each one. The person who was having a technical know-how, a strong technical know-how, was recruited into the team from steering, from solar, etc. And their let's say what their suggestions was given more weight in the respective departments. But the work was interdisciplinary. I think with that, our presentation is done. Thank you, Nansen.
Well, sorry, that was, I'm so sorry. So, well, I think that was just too much of hard work and efforts. I could truly make out how much of work you all have put in, and you really worked hard to get this done. And also, I would like to appreciate one fact that you had come up with an innovation for the disabled people, and that's highly appreciable. And also, this innovation which made you winners, and you all well deserved it. So, hats off to you, your innovation, and all your team members for putting in so much of hard work.
Thank you, Hena. Thank you.
Most welcome. And indeed, it's a great pleasure for us to have you with us over here today. And I'm sure all the engineers and all the people out there, for them, you are a great source of motivation. So with this, let us begin with asking you some questions. Okay, so my first question would be, give me a little brief, okay, about Team Empower and how did you come up with all this? It also is difficult, right, to have such a huge team and coordinate. So yeah, just give a brief about your team members, team, and the whole process, how it went through.
Regarding the team,
I think I would like to say something words on that. Where Said has just given us small mention about how big our team was, because of 40 members were there, and there were many departments, and we have to go through autonomous, solar, and many other departments we have to focus. And we also had other help from our teams and all. And our choosing our team was a very big challenge, because we were mostly from the third years and the second years. We were second years at that time, and we chose a team. Sheikh Sir, which we mentioned earlier, brought this idea of ESVC into our midst, and we were just 5 to 10, and we just recruited many of our friends and also with other colleagues who had the potential. And so, as working to a team, we will be coming with such an innovation. And handling such a big team was really very difficult, because 40 people we would our meeting would be in a big hall, and we would be talking about the different thing. When something like a new innovation or an autonomous concept came out, all would be talking to each other. There will be 40 ideas in the same room, or 40 or plus ideas, and we have to look into each of that ideas and come up with it. And also when it came to the making of the car, also there were too many hands going around the car. to complete your idea. So yeah, that's all I think about our team and our work. I would like
Probably,
anything you have to say.
Okay. That answers that, I think.
it probably took a huge amount of work and consistency and dedication, I'm sure. So, how many sleepless nights did you guys spend? Like,
Sleepless
yes.
nights. Yeah. Maybe since we are actually so involved in the work, I think we didn't count the sleepless nights. But there were even situations like we were sleeping at the road outside our garage. Since there were 40, and I must say there won't be 40. The direct all 40 team members won't be there in the garage. There will be our average of around 28 to 30. Or 25 to 26% will be there for sure in the garage. And there was an instance that we had to sleep at the road outside the garage to get the work done because the brake department was waiting there to bleed the brake, and we were actually assembling the wheels, and we all were there. So the brake department has to work outside, and the car was small, and the 40 members couldn't. The extra set of hands was not there, was not needed there. Because the team member, the sufficient with the 10 members, they were assembling the wheel, and the rest of them we had to wait outside. We actually had a bus to go to the college, back to the college. So everyone will be going in a group, so they have to wait outside. And even we had instances of sleeping at night, even in the road after the outside the garage. And we had a pretty difficult nights over there. The mosquitoes, everything. We used, yeah, it was a bit difficult. We had a lot of nights.
That's really highly appreciable. And you people with so much of dedication, you all have worked. It's like really. So, what were the major roadblocks that you faced during this innovation journey? Like hardships and challenges.
Yeah. When it comes, that's the difficulties, right? We have faced. I think it's rather we should speak about more about the difficulties and the failures we have came across, because it's not just we ran to the fourth rank all India, or we just stumbled upon it on one night or one morning, because it was a series of work. There were instances where the whole team was at the verge of fighting with each other, and there were also very good times. And the road, we faced a lot of roadblocks in each of the in each departments, I must say, because to say one or two that there's the solar panel, because I handle mainly the solar and innovation, and so I'll be talking about that. When the solar panel, when we have to choose, it was really very confusing where we have to set, and it was a very big challenge for us to do that. And the car had to be autonomous. It had to run through a small road which was out without the driver, and that was also a very big challenge for us to
Moreover, the materials. I also had some materials regarding the material. There was a huge difficulty. Like we are settled. We are from Kollam, Kerala, so we don't have a mass producing industry or any cat producing industry nearby. So we used to get most of the materials done by C2M, as everyone may be knowing C2M. So we used to get them from C2M and many other industries located in Bhopal and in Pune. We used to get the materials. So there were instances that we had a schedule running on. We had to need, we have to need them. We want a motor by this end date, or we have to get the car running by this date. So we were forced. The team members willingly took up the challenge. They went to Delhi at the outburst of Corona, and there was a political issue at that time. They didn't even care. They just went to Delhi. They got the motor and they brought it back as soon as they can. And there were also positions like for regarding some spares. We didn't use everything fresh hand. We had to use some spares like axles, some etc. For that, actually, there was also a schedule running behind. We had to cope up with the schedule, and we had to show the car running to a vendor, to a sponsor, so we could arrange some funds. So there was a huge need for us to get the vehicle running regarding the axles. So one of our teammate, he actually, with his own expense, he didn't use the team financial expense. He, with his own expense, he went to Ernakulam, a nearby place, and he got the materials needed, and he was forced to sleep there at the railway station because he missed some train. Something went wrong there. And the materials, I must say, living out here in Kollam, getting the materials that are rarely used by the people nearby for building this car, the materials was a big burden on us. All the other materials we could get online, but some of the bulky material that we designed, getting it manufactured, that took a lot of time, and that was really difficult for us to arrange. That was a major difficulty that we faced. I must say that.
So obviously, when you have come up with such a huge innovation, it would be difficult in doing all this stuff, gathering the materials, because it's not something small that you have come up with. It's highly huge, and the innovation itself is so very, authentic. And also, I would like to ask you one thing: did you all receive any support in terms of monetary and mentorship?
Of course, we got a lot of mentorship. As I mentioned earlier, the part played by our teachers, Shahan sir, Matthew sir, and even Sheikh sir. At the stage of some, we were dealing with solar, we are dealing with autonomous, and we were also dealing with some coding with structures. We needed a lot of help from the manufacturing part, from mechanical side also. So to our surprise, what we have noticed is that even though we were from a different college, once our faculty members or the mentors from our side insisted or recommended us to the other college teachers outside the college, they were so willingly happy. So they were so happy that we approached them and to get the work done. So they have many of them have helped us a lot in getting them. Apart from being a college, they could have considered us. They are from another college. We are from different college, but they haven't done anything like that. There was no discrimination based on the college. There was from even IITs. We got professors who helped us a lot, and even arranging the solar panel. We bought a solar panel from Indira funds with one of our college startups. We got the solar panel from the college startup, and there was a lot of mentorship from even from outside the college. From the college, it was we could not. There's a both more than to mention, but from outside the college also we have got a lot of mentorship as well.
Okay. That's nice. It's always nice when you have a supporting people and supporting pillars to guide you and to mentor you as you proceed. It makes your the entire process very much easy and convenient for the others, right?
Without that, it won't be complete. It must be there.
So they are like the essential components and the pillars and support systems which you have properly.
Sure.
Yeah. Am I visible to you clearly, or is it stuck?
No, you are visible.
Yeah, right. Okay, no, because I was seeing myself being stuck some time ago, so I thought it might have got stuck for everyone. So apart from that, so yeah, it was nice to know that so many people supported you, and indeed it catered to such a big victory, and you all emerged out as winners. So my next question would be, could you like tell us some of the fun and memorable moments in your whole journey? Because when you work with a team, when you work with a motive, and when you're consistent, disciplined, okay, you might have some major memories to cherish. So could you share those with us?
Yeah, we had a couple of the whole journey was full of memories. We had a couple of experiences like, say, we usually used to close the garage doors because we usually work at night. There was class, there was many assignments done, so we will be there. After that, we used to come to the garage in the evening, say 5. We will be scheduling the meeting at 5. Everyone will be there at 6:30, only 7. They will be at 7. We will be working. Once they are here, the work will be going as good as possible. But there is some of reluctance even for me. We will be there after class, standing there, being there after college, we will be here. And we usually used to close the door and work in the garage. But one day there was an instance that we had a stray dog. A dog visited our garage, and it ended. I don't know how it just ended. Even though there was a huge of noise, we were welding there. We were building the roll cage at that day. No, we were correcting the roll cage. We had some. We need to do some correction regarding the roll cage. So we were correcting the roll cage. There was huge noise. There was welding going on. There was potting going on. But the dog, like a king, it entered into our garage. It was waiting there here and by, and it was looking for something. I think it was chasing something, and it thought that it just ran into our garage. And it was chasing here and there, and that was actually a good experience. Many of them was scared, and somehow we got that dog outside, and that was a good memory to be there. And also sleeping at night, we have a lot of photos of friends sleeping at night that we are usually sharing it during their birthdays, regarding the sleep that we have had at the night in the roads. yeah, that was a good memory that we had.
Sure.
And yeah,
You all had, so you probably had a night out with friends also during work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's,
was
that's
more than
great.
enough. Yeah.
Birthdays are a great way, To celebrate any
Yeah.
time. That's nice. That's really nice to know about you people having a dog in the garage the other day. Okay, so if I had to ask you, this entire process, as you said, you would get back at 5 and you all had a meeting and then you all would work the whole night. So, how did you manage your studies during this time? Because engineering again is another stream where another area of studies where you have to focus a lot and attend lectures, and I believe it was online or offline also. So, how did you manage?
I should actually take this instant to thank many of our academics teachers for this because their support was very unending, especially
Yeah.
our department. And because there were assignments to be done, there would be exams, serious exams were in between, and there would be quizzes and many other academically many of the things were going on, and the teachers were liberally giving us some of the marks and the attendance. Attendance, oh my God, that was really one thing that we need to catch up in engineering. So yeah, I would really like to thank our department and the teachers for helping us because without even though they are not directly linked to the work, their support was a great in our success.
Even if we had to bunk some classes for arranging some materials or for getting something ready for the work at night, if we are saying that, sir, ma'am, this is for our ESVC competition, can we have the excuses for leaving the class? They are ready to leave us. But as I said, he was there. The man was there. I mean, the Sheikh sir. He used to monitor every time that whether we are bunking the class in the name of this event. He was there because of him, because he was there following us, and he was there like guiding us in everything. Once we said the name of the project, there was a sudden support from there, even from financial assistance, and also even regarding the mentorship, etc. And even our the department, even the HOD also didn't step back away even when we needed some alumni. She even connected us with some alumni from where we have got a lot of sponsorship. And yes, from the department side, it was so crucial. And that is what we had maintained with the academics. That helped us a lot in cope up with the academics.
Yeah, and also there were nights where we would work till the night and we would just directly get into the class in the morning. After
We will be working throughout the night, and when it is 9, we have to go to the college. So we will be walking from the garage to the college. I said there was a bus. We will be going to the college directly. Evening we'll be going to the home, getting ready for the work. After the work, we'll be joining to the class, and after class, after 1 or 2 hours, we'll be going back to the house, and we'll be getting freshened up. But we didn't really need a freshening after the work because we are all active during the night. So there was no dizzy feeling. We will just direct with all energy. We'll be going to the class, and after 1 or 2, 3 hours, we'll be going back to the home, to the hostel back, and we'll be getting ready.
Okay. So this entire innovation process and this entire process of you coming up with this innovation had significant efforts and contribution put in by the entire college members and all the other people who supported you every time.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's really appreciable. I would like to appreciate them too. Okay, for being so supportive to you all, and indeed, they did cater towards a big victory. And
That is the main reason why we have a Baha team. We have electric, as I said, there's a Baha team, there's a ECA team, and we have a lot of activities going on in our college. And they have many organizations, many clubs. Everything is highly active in our college just because of this moral support from the college. All the departments, most of the departments, I can't exclude any department, all of them are highly supportive. And we can even have any activities over the college with the proper permission in the proper channel. There is no need of anything that we have to bother for conducting an event. That is the main reason why we usually from our college we used to participate in almost every event. I think Eficycle, ECAT, I think most of the event we are going to participate. Not our team. In the Eficycle, there is a Eficycle team, there is a Baha team, there is a Supra team, there is a Formula Mother team. We have a team for every event from our college. That is just because of this moral support from the college.
College has been an encouraging and motivational factor to you all.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I am almost done with my questions, and let me also address our audience out there. They might surely have certain questions for you all. So let me just check the comment box and go through some of the questions and let's acknowledge their presence with us. Okay, so there is a question stating, are there any wait a second. Okay, so there's a question stating, since the car is working on the solar energy, so is there a possibility of the climatic conditions like rainy winter, like rainy season during the winter season, interfering with the functioning of the car?
Yeah, of course. One of the major limitation or one of the major drawback of a solar car is that it is actually seasonal. Raining and all those things won't be doing any harm to the car, but the intensity of sunlight and extra will be affecting the car for sure. That is a direct question, and it is a major limitation. Once we are nearer to the equator, that won't be a problem, I think. But once we are moving far away from the equator, there is a huge possibility that the efficiency of the car will be, the reliability of the car will be more at a particular season, and the reliability will be less at a particular season. I think that is a good question, and it is a direct one. Yeah, solar vehicles will be having a difficulty during this particular time. It is seasonal. Of course, it is seasonal.
Let's move to our next question. Could you discuss some limitations of solar cars too, apart from it being seasonal?
Limitation.
This is some of the common questions that come from many of the people when we are talking about solar vehicles, especially solar cars. Now, solar plants, now the solar charging station. So, yeah, I would like to say this because when nowadays when I move through the city, I am seeing more charging stations, electric charging stations coming up here and there, now which was not there earlier. And we are also proud to say that we have installed a solar charging station, solar powered charging station for the electric autos that are emerging in our city. And
that was actually a first initiative in Kerala from our college. I think it was the first initiative from our college to set up a fully powered solar charging. It was about 2 kilowatts or 6 kilowatts. 6 kilowatt solar charging station set up by the college as a part of a final year project. It was set up as 6 kilowatt solar charging station ready to go by Mahindra Autos, and some auto can be recharged over there. Yeah, it is a proud moment for us being being a student of the college. They have also installed it, and we are actually doing the maintenance. The students from the student side and from the faculties are also involved in doing the maintenance.
So what we can understand from this is that there are many drawbacks. Everyone is drawbacks, but still we can say that there is a chance overcoming this by making small few changes. Because if you look into the normal cars, also normal bikes and petrol cars or engines, there are also many drawbacks like the fuel. And now we overcame that by installing petrol stations junction to junction.
So from my personal view, the myth will be a huge drawback. There are some myths that the solar vehicles are going to be heavily priced. There will be huge initial investment required. There will be huge maintenance required. It won't be suitable for off-roading. It won't be suitable for rainy seasons. There are a lot of myths that the industry has to tackle. Of course, the industry has to tackle a lot of this common myth for the normal people and for the middle class people. There are a lot of myths to overcome. But we strongly suggest that once it's engineered well, the solar car, which one is a pure engineer's work, once it's launched in the market, there won't be any maintenance required. There won't be any huge maintenance required for the solar car. But I think the initial investment must be a bit high, but the maintenance will be very low. We are running on solar, and the fuel cost will be reduced, and there will be a lot of reduction in the travel expenses. But the initial cost will be the myth. There will be a huge lot of myth to be overcome by the industry once it is developed. That will be a huge drawback of the car. And also regarding the solar charging, once it's solar vehicle, even though there will be shady places, rainy season, there will be a drawback. And the charging stations, if there won't be a charging station and getting it charged easily, getting it charged fast, all those can be limitations, of course.
So everything around Earth has its own pros and cons. It depends on us. Also, solar car again has many pros with
Yeah.
respect to sustainability, environmental factors, and all those stuff. So if we go to see, uh, there will be negatives, there will be positives, but it depends on us. Like which things do matter a lot to us. Whether we think about sustainability of our future and environment and stuff, or we think about the pricing, because anyways we spend a lot for normal cars and vehicles too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
So
also,
yeah, you can go ahead. You're
yeah,
saying something.
one of the drawbacks just came into my mind that it is a when we are parking our car, we have to be also the one of the drawbacks is that we just park the car so the car will get charged. Even the way we park, we should be how the sun comes and goes up. Like the direction of the sun needs to be before we park a car so that the car gets maximum input from the solar energy. So that's also very
No, yeah, once the electric vehicles, solar powered electric vehicles and these electric vehicles are on the run, are on the market, there will be a huge deal of work to be done by the civil engineers. Since this is a meet the engineer session, there has to be a lot of work done by the civil engineers regarding the parking stations, like parking plots, that for proper charging or for utilizing the proper sunlight from the sun, we have to do in a proper direction. There's a 15 degrees slope. There must be a proper direction in each area. So the civil engineers has to make the parking plot in such a way that once the vehicle is parked, it will be utilizing the maximum energy from the sun. It will be at the maximum efficient point of the solar panel. So there will be challenges coming each and every day after the solar vehicles are on the market. So there is a huge
Yeah.
opportunity coming up. We think that there is a huge opportunity coming up with solar vehicles.
So I hope all the civil engineers out there have taken note of this point, and they will
Yeah.
work on certain innovations which will, help to support your innovations. So together you make up a good community of, aspiring,
Yeah,
all
we'll
the
be
aspiring
happy.
civil
We'll
engineers
be
who are
happy to
watching
hear
this.
our these sessions mentioned in some other civil engineer in the coming up videos of Ransom. We will be so happy to hear our reference that once they said so we were inspired. We'll be so happy to hear something like that in the coming sessions. Hopefully,
Let's hope for that.
yeah.
Let's hope that some motivation goes on their way and they come up with something huge. Okay, so let's move on and see if there are like some more questions coming your way. Okay. Explain about the durability and maintenance of the device.
Regarding the durability and
Uh,
maintenance,
see, I think the same sort of questions are coming up.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we have explained that durability. When it comes to durability, we can say that when it comes to solar panels, they are quite durable. All that matters is that we have to keep the solar panels clean. We have to just keep it clean so that the maximum it works at maximum efficiency. When it comes to water and also the batteries, it is highly durable. We have just mentioned this, right? The recharging cycles of the battery are taken into account. The efficiency of the solar panels,
yeah.
we are
Also,
trying
there
to
is also
increase that.
improvement in the solar panels. There is flexibility in solar. We have flexible solar panels available.
Yeah.
As the field develops, there will be more advancement in the shape of the solar panel, in the shape of the solar cell, in the efficiency of the solar cell, and durability will never be a question for the car, and it won't never cause a problem for its launch into the market. It won't be a problem in generally speaking. That won't never be I think it won't be a problem to the market because there will be advancement. Once it is done, there will be advancement in every. As I said it for the previous question also, once it is done, once it is hitting the market, the advancement will be coming as such. They are waiting at a position. Once it is done, everything will be coming behind. One after the other, everything will happen. The parking plots, the advancement in solar panel, advancement in solar panel shapes, the size, everything will be leading a reduction.
It's
Everything.
a field that is developing.
Yeah.
So it is too early to say that it is undurable or it will be developed. We have to look into the future.
Everything is done there. Everything is done by here and there. And many of them are doing projects regarding the solar charging, solar power station, electric vehicles. Many of them are out there doing works, and all of them are waiting for some moment. Once it is done, it will be coming as a, it's like a dam. It's built up, it's all set, it's there. It is there starting for a spark. Once it is done, everything will be coming one after the other.
Yeah. You just need to initiate the developmental process, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Once you give that trigger or that spark, and then it goes on further. But initially, the idea and the innovation has to put into use.
Yes.
Okay. See. So there is a next question which says, what do you think is the future of solar cars in India?
In India, solar cars, that's actually a big question for us to answer, being a students of being a students regarding India, that too, solar vehicles, electric vehicles, that's a big question from our side. But still, from our humble opinion, from our humble side, if we are thinking, yes, there is going to be solar vehicles will be taking a bit more time, I think, but electric vehicle for sure will be having a great advancement in coming 20 years. Within 20 to 10 years, like our teachers used to come tell us in each and every section. In the power electronics class, we can hear, in most of the classes, we can hear that students get grab of all these things, get them ready, be ready with all those things that you have. It is going to be adverse change in electrical engineering. This will be change in automobile industry. Electric vehicles are on the run. Yeah, we also surely think that within 10 to 20 years, electric vehicles will be dominating the roads. And solar vehicles, I think it must be need some more time.
Because if electric vehicles are coming to the market or into the roads in huge numbers, charging it from the coal power plant or dam from the electricity generator, you are using it to charge there is no point in bringing vehicles like that, because we need a sustainable and a renewable energy source, and one of the biggest source available to us is the sun. So of course, when the solar vehicles will hit the market soon after electric vehicles are very popular. Yeah, I think I see a great future for electric vehicles.
And at this point, I think I would like to mention that the researchers shows that once the car is made, if a mechanical car is made and it is running on the go, it will be producing pollution. But there will be pollution, as I have mentioned in the first slide. I think I was mentioned the first or second slide. I think actually there is a possibility that during the manufacturing process of the solar panel, during the manufacturing process of the motor, there are pollution going on at the industry level. Of course, there is pollution, but that can be justifiable. With these electric vehicles, of course, that can be justifiable. These industries can be located in remote areas that will reduce the impact of the pollution on the environment or on the humans or any other living things. And I just mentioned that I think I should mention it about here. Like there is also, it won't be a ruling out of pollution. There will be pollution. There must be this BS6 standards, emission level, everything will be continued. Those who are working on those grounds won't be desperate. They need not be sad. They never had to feel sad, because everything will be there. All these regulations, all these pollution standards, everything will be there for sure. But regarding this, there will be pollution in the manufacturing level, considering to the mechanical vehicles. On the run, they won't be causing any huge pollution, we would say.
Okay. So I hope the audience agrees that there is a future of solar cars out there. And moreover, it's nice that this innovation also highlights a very sustainable aspect. So there should be the future. Okay, the future should be in a way that we cater towards more sustainable developments, and we support such developments, because in the end we need to make this world a better place to live in. That's the whole idea. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, Zainab is audible.
Sorry?
You are audible, Zainab. It's audible.
Okay. So my last question from my side would be, okay, what is that one piece of advice you would like to give the aspiring engineers, okay, on, like, as students, you all have come up with innovation, such a huge, tremendous and fabulous innovation, and you all have proved so many factors over here by coming up with this innovation. So what is that piece of advice or some tips you would like to share with the aspiring engineers out there, so that they could also work on something like this and come up with more innovations,
Actually, this was a question that we were really expecting. I think we were actually expecting this question from the side because Meet the Engineer session. We hope to have a question like this. Actually, regarding a competition or going to a competition at stage, from an engineering student's perspective, going to a competition, we are not a mass producers of car. We are not a professionals. We are just students. We are learning it from online, of course, from YouTube, online tutorials, from Udemy, etc. We are learning it and we are putting it to the effort. Actually, going to a national level competition or going to Asia level competition is actually what we consider is, it's not the car that is competing, or it's not the what we have made. It is the effort that we have put in. It's actually what they are competing is that we have put an effort on our product or in our project. Similarly, some others have also put effort in their own project. It's actually, from my perspective, it is the effort that is competing over there. We will be doing, or we will be putting our maximum into the project that we have designed, and we will be having a great deal of work. We will be having a great idea on what is going inside, what is happening there. We will be having a great idea about all those things in our from our project. And we, once it is made, we believe that it is best. It is the best. We made ours the best. We will be usually doing that. What we make, we will try maximum, try to make it the best. And making the car, believing it to be the best, it's okay, fine. But taking the same car to a national level competition and viewing the best work of some others, or competing with people from entire nation, that is actually mesmerizing. That is a very good feel. Like, oh, it will be just a bolt, or it will be just a nut that they have introduced that brings a huge improvement in the performance, or the steering mechanism, everything, each and everything. I personally have gone to Baha. I was a team member of Baha. I was a team member of electric e-kart racing, and I have also been in some other projects. And each and every time I go to there, we have solved a lot of problems from our car with crucial technologies, I must say. But once we are there viewing their car, due to the unavailability of the resources, let's say from teams from Tamil Nadu, there are teams from there. They will be having some limitations, but they will be doing some innovative work with just a nut, just a bolt. It will be well engineered, well planned, well simulated. It will be having proper design reconstructions, and seeing their work done, seeing their best results is actually mesmerizing. We have to go at least 1 or 2 times nationally to experience others' perspectives. So what I'd like to conclude is that actually you have to go to this national level competitions just as to compete as an effort, though not the vehicle. And you never has to feel desperate on losing. Need not feel desperate on being the last. That is not at all a problem. In our Baha team, we were the All India ranked 5 the previous year. We didn't get nothing in this year because our brake failed. So we couldn't manage to get anything. The previous year we were ranked 5. We couldn't get anything this year, but we were not desperate. We learned a lot of things from them, and once it is done, it just will be a passion. Once the vehicle runs in the college, the effort will be, it will be hands-on. And once we are out of the college, seeing our juniors continuing the work with the same power and with the same inspiration that we have passed on to them is also a wonderful experience. That still we can see the works that we have done in our first years and the second year and third year. That work we have done is still being continued by our juniors. It's actually so hope. It is so happy. We are so happy that they are taking the part, and also some faculties recommend their work. They have done so. So you can add up these and these to this, and it will be becoming better. And that is also great. So my message to the engineers out there, or those who are listening, is that there will be a lot of projects out there. It is what defines the project is that the effort that you put in. If you put in a proper effort, just think to your mind that have you put in the proper efforts? If you have put in the proper efforts, results is for sure. This time or the next time, for sure there will be a result. Just do something that will be taking you to a entire, that will be pulling or dragging you out from your comfort zone. Just do something that will be taking out you from the comfort zone. Once it is done, everything will be coming as a challenge. And for personally, it was the faculty and the college that played a crucial role in me, that dragged me out from my comfort zone. I used to do some project works here and there, but once I entered the college, getting experience and getting exposure from all these sides, it was a huge turnover on me. Similarly, everyone will be having an opportunity in their home, in their class, in their college to get out of their comfort zone. They will be in their comfort zone. Do your maximum effort, put in your stress, come out of your comfort zone. Everything will be happening. There will be sadness, there will be happiness, there will be a lot of memory to collect, there will be everything. There are a lot of things for you. So just come out of your comfort zone and do and put your stress in. That is the major suggestion that I have to give you.
I totally agree with that because I should say that when I came into the college on the first day or the first week, if someone came up to me and told I could be a part of a electric solar car team, I wouldn't believe them. I would slap them right away because still now I am really shocked that we have got this position. We have achieved these things. I am a part of a car. I know how to make. I know something because I know some parts of the mechanical parts of the car. Just because I'm electrical doesn't mean that I have no role in there. Yeah, and that's another point because when everybody is saying that electric vehicle is coming, solar vehicle is coming, mechanical people are going to run out of jobs and other.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Impossible even. Without the mechanical engineers, nothing is going to happen. The car itself is a mechanical. That is an impossible event. That is impossible what's going to happen.
Yeah, electrical students, electronic students, all of the engineers can make their own contribution in all the projects. And that's one message I would like to.
Once the electrical vehicle is done, civil engineers have to re-engineer many of their parking plots, everything. Electronics engineers have to come in for the motor drivers, motor controllers, battery management system, everything. The electronic engineers have to come in. The electrical engineers, of course, for the motor, for their powertrain, etc. Mechanical engineers must be there for the safety, for the assembly, for the roll cage, etc. They must be there. It is that from the hands of the mechanical people, it is going to be elevated to the electronics. We must say it is going to be elevated to the electronics. After effects, they will be changed to the civil engineers. Once the electric vehicle is out there is going to be a huge revolution in the field of engineering, I think. Many of them have to put in their efforts. There will be a huge development coming up.
I think you people have like beautifully explained it, and I felt myself really very motivated. So I'm sure all the engineers out there have, will be a little more motivated and will work towards, fulfilling all these things, and will work on certain criteria as you highlighted upon.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it, and. It's really, I would like to take a moment on behalf of the whole 9SEM team and on my personal behalf, I would like to thank you. And it was a great pleasure having you with us.
Yeah, pleasure was ours too.
Yeah, pleasure was ours too. But actually, from our team, from the 40 members of our team, we are also highly express our gratitude to introduce us as a platform. And also we thank our team, especially our team, to allowing us to represent them over here. Of course, the team has allowed us, give us a permission to represent them over here. So I actually say thank you to our captain Joel, vice captain Jidin, and also to our mentors Sheikh sir, Matthew sir, and all the other channels and are also other department heads, innovation head, documentation head. I really appreciate their work, and also I would like to thank them for help for allowing us to represent them in this particular meeting. And also I would kind of regard the regards to the 9SEM for having us here. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Okay, so I wish you all the very best. I hope you achieve more greater success in life. And also all the very best to your team. Convey our regards to all of them. And all their efforts and all your team efforts are really highly appreciable. Thank you so much. Okay, so